Good morning, and welcome to today's Power Boost. My name is Ananta, and it's nice to be with you again. So today, our topic is the bigger the breakdown, the bigger the breakthrough. There are different ways we can say that. Like, for example, I'm sure you've heard it said that every cloud has a silver lining. And in our lives, daily, sometimes, but often enough, there are clouds, there are breakdowns. And if we are able to remember what we're discussing today, rather than have the breakdown just be something that you suffer through or lament about, you can reap the benefits inherent in these breakdowns that we have to deal with from time to time. And by that, I mean there are financial breakdowns, there are breakdowns with regard to your attainments and some of your best laid plans, and especially there are breakdowns regarding our health. You could have a serious health problem. And what we need to stress with any type of breakdown is that the occurrence of it is a function of our own actions. Whether we remember or not, or understand or not, it is something that we have caused. They are not accidental. And so with that same understanding, you can benefit from whatever those consequences are. And I know that when you think about something like this, you might be saying, well, if it's illness especially, I could be in lots of pain while I repair. Or if it's financial, then there's a lot of challenges that you have to face. But keep in mind that when we talk about what's good and what's better in any of these topics, we're talking about the soul. We're not talking about the body. And it may very well be good for the body also. But essentially, what we're talking about is the benefit to the soul. And so if we are going through a difficult financial period, if we're going through a very severe health breakdown, even as you're going through it, if you can keep this in mind, you will be looking to see what the lesson is. What is it that you need to learn? What is it that you didn't appreciate beforehand that now you can appreciate afterwards? Because of course, we learn both from pain and we also learn from knowledge. And again, we're talking about the soul. And so every breakdown is an opportunity for you to learn from it. You know, there's another way you can look at this. I remember when I was preparing for a marathon, one of the coaches told us that we should look forward to the hills, because they are the most difficult part of the run. And of course, the steeper the hill, well, the more enjoyable the downhill. And so in a way, you can look at this in the same way, because life is this kind of journey, and it has its ups and downs. And of course, at journey's end, and for us, in this spiritual journey, the final exam is when you are no longer in this body, when you leave your body, so that we have quite a ways to travel, depending on the span of life that we have in the body that we're in. And so as you are facing whatever it is that you're facing, keep this in mind, that there is something to learn. There is a lesson here. And the breakthrough, as the title of the Powerboost, what's implicit in the title is that the more severe the issue that you're dealing with, the more the breakdown is, the steeper the hill is, the more there is to gain from it. And so I am not suggesting, as I was with the case of getting ready for a marathon, to look forward necessarily to these bouts and these challenges. But when they occur, then you want to pay very close attention to the kind of opportunity that there is for learning. So the pain that you may have to endure, remember, it is separate from the lesson, because of course it is the endurance of it that might be part of the benefit. It could be that as you're going through it, it occurs to you the missteps that you may have made. Too often we make decisions without due thought into not only the action that we are taking, but the consequences of those actions. And that refers to just about everything that we have to do, every encounter that we have. And so one of the lessons that you learn, that you can bring to every situation, is that as you face any challenge, as you face any decision, you always want to approach it with that 3-step, meaning you want to look at the motivation for the action. You want to look at the action itself, and you want to look at the consequences for that action. And when you are not able to do that beforehand, you will find from time to time that you are in these periods of breakdown. And so this idea of internalizing everything that you have to do before it's external allows you to have that forethought and that planning that will allow you to not only to have the breakthrough, but to appreciate the breakthrough. Remember that what we're talking about when we say things like every cloud has a silver lining, these are not just nice sayings. They are laws. They are universal laws. And this is why, as again, to use another one, when whatever the tide takes out, it brings it right back in. And so living in that present state of awareness is so vital to our well-being that no matter what the consequences are, even if they might be painful, whether physically or mentally, the lessons are learned, because part of the process of return, so to speak, is that we are not only lawbreakers, which have consequences, but we're also lawmakers. And so when we do what's right, when we follow the right pattern, then it is that will continue to inform your actions, and that information becomes the kinds of laws that we have to follow. And so think of yourself always as a lawmaker. Think of yourself always as someone who is able to set the right stage and to make the right choices, to use the intellect the way it was designed to be used, that is, to make the right choices and to make the right selection of thoughts from that's available to you, and make sure that you're clear that the motivation is right, that the action is right, and that the consequences that you will have to deal with is exactly what you would desire. And of course, when you don't, which is when mistakes are made, you will use that opportunity to learn from it and to have the breakthrough as a consequence of the breakdown, so that there is no loss, only gain. And as I indicated earlier, these are benefits to the soul. So what I'm going to leave you with today is a gift for the soul, one that was shared a few days ago, but I thought that it was very, very relevant to our topic today. So I am going to share that with you. And as you listen carefully, you will see how that can and will have an impact in your life from here on. So here's what it reads. When you are discouraged, under the influence of a negative emotion, or going through a difficulty, remember who you are: a unit of spiritual power, a being whose thoughts can create everything out of nothing. With powerful thoughts, victory is guaranteed. Keep your mind silent, clear, tuned into a higher energy. Transcend the everyday matter, the physical. Empower yourself. Empower yourself. So let's sit with that for the moment we have left and see yourself in that powerful stage, that no matter what the circumstances are, what consequences you're dealing with, what the body is experiencing, there's a lesson to be learned. And no matter how steep the hill is or how big the breakdown is, on the other side, there is that silver lining, no matter how dark the cloud. Om Shanti.